It's been 24 hours, I need more hours with you. We spent the weekend getting even. Ooh.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Velvet Lounge. That is Maroon 5, Girls Like You. And today I'm coming at you with some more eBay knowledge, tips, as well as items that sold. Once again, you know me, I'm always trying to show you the items that most people never show you. They're usually showing you clothing, DVDs, records, like things that are more everyday and are out there in the billions, which is cool. Hey, they sell. As long as you make the right profit on it and it's not just a few dollars, you're good. But these are items, like I said, most people just overlook. They don't think of. They don't have maybe as much knowledge about, which is okay. That's why we are here to learn, and I love learning myself. I try to learn something new every day. And if you have anything that you would like to share, or obviously if you have any feedback on anything that I'm going to show you, or if you would like me to go into detail about another subject matter, or even like certain items as far as reselling goes, please leave your comments down below. I welcome them. I read every single one. I will acknowledge every single one of them. So please do that because I think it's fun. And once again, like I said, I've been doing this for like 15 years. But once again, I'm always learning, and I've been, interested in reselling since I was like a child. However, I never really did it because of college, work, family, corporate America, making the big fat paycheck, as well as now that I'm retired or semi-retired, as my husband reminds me. Now this is something that I've gotten deeper into over the last 10 years or so, and I really enjoy it. It's super fun and it's very lucrative. So as I go along, as I stated, I will, add some tips and tricks in that I use, as well as, if I can give you any more history or knowledge about certain items to look for. So without any further ado, I'm going to start out with this beautiful large yellow lucite bowl. I'm going to just adjust this for you a little bit. See if I can make the picture bigger. Actually, let me see if I can make this picture a little bit bigger. That's probably it. And I once again, I suck royal. I am going to improve the lighting, I promise you, because there should be more lighting behind me. Because if you saw this bowl, it's amazing. It is the brightest of bright yellows. It's probably one of the brightest yellows I've ever seen that wasn't neon. Because, I mean, come on, who really loves neon yellow? But anyway, this was made in about the 1960s, probably like the mid-60s, when that whole mod bright color thing was really super hot. And it's made of lucite, which is technically a plastic, is what it is, but it's not your standard plastic. It's a different style of plastic. They used to make jewelry back then. They used to make purses. Yes, even purses were made out of that material, as well as artistic large decorative items. Some of those are in museums right now. Maybe this should be in there. I don't know. I've never seen one before. So the ironic thing is we were invited once again as guests to a project that another fellow had contracted and invited us to partner with him on. And there was a basement full of trunks So these were like trunks from the 17 and 1800s, but they were full of things that were from the 50s, 60s, 70s. And this room, which was a basement that was probably about 2,000 square feet, maybe a little bit more than that because it had some other little smaller rooms off of it. And that did not include the mechanical room. But this room had hundreds of trunks stacked from floor to ceiling. We were so excited. I can't even tell you how excited we were. We were like going, we always have a plan. It's sort of like people who like football or sports. We go into every project with a plan up front. We discuss it, we adjust it. It's not the same plan for every single project. So obviously, there was a huge exciting buzz because we saw the trunks. And in the trunks, I would say probably 80% of them were full of clothing and linens. And the others had like maybe linens in it, but within the linens, other things were like put in, I guess, to be protected. And this is one of them. And actually, we also have an orange version of this bowl as well. So there was an orange and a yellow one, which was this one, that were in one of the trunks being protected by linens. And yeah, we pull this out, and obviously, unfortunately, because I'm the only female that ever works with our crew, it's rare that I have another female there unless it's my daughter. I do have two other females that help who are really awesome, but they have regular full-time jobs and children, so it's totally fine. But when the guys saw this, they were just going to like toss it into the plastic recycling. And I was like, I need to look at everything because, and that happens. It's so weird. You'll hear me say that when I'm going through some of these videos and talking about projects. But many times I do have to stop the guys because they, don't know everything about everything. And that's totally fine. That's not really what they're there for. So I pull this large lucite bowl out, and this bowl is like, this part is large enough to hold probably 2 medium-sized cantaloupes, or a basketball. That may be a better reference, a basketball. And so that tells you how large this opening is. It's really large. And the bowl is deep, and it sold for $42.99, and I think the only reason it had just one bid on it, because I did put it out there as an auction. Many of our items are buy it now, as you know, is because you would have to know to look for this. Like, this isn't something that the average person is just looking for. And the shipping and handling fee was $14.95. In reality, I think it came to like $11 and some change. So once again, like I said in a previous video, which I don't think I published yet, but it will be published soon, or this weekend it'll be published, is you need to, be aware of what seems to be a change in the shipping and handling fees, or shipping fees, I should say. And I don't think it's a change with the post office unless I missed that memo. But it seems to be something weird with eBay ever since they changed over how the postage / mailing, label screen looks and the functionality of it. I noticed that it seems as if the prices for shipping have gone up. But anyway, I was able to send this out faster than economy shipping. It's actually going priority mail. So once again, one of the things that I do is if I can ship it quicker than what I have in my listing, I always do that because it always equals a satisfied customer. And yes, I know I owe you a video on my views in regards to feedback. That will be coming. This is another item that I find that, I don't know, I don't think a lot of people pay attention to Bibles or common prayer books simply because there are trillions of them out there. It's one of the books that will go through a family for generation after generation, for hundreds of generations, etc. I don't know if there is a guilt in recycling these or not, and I'm going to see it. Oh, okay, that's better. Or what it is, but I do know that, of course, some of them have value. Some of them are just what they are. They're for reference, they're for reading, they're for reflection, etc. The ones that tend to be more sellable are the Bibles or even Qurans that are small, meaning miniature, as well as if they have a unique feature. Like this one has a hidden pocket at the back. So I always imagine that this person, and this one is from 1886. That's the unpublished date of it. And I always imagine that the owner of this book probably had their little tiny like Victorian notes that they were passing to their love or to their friends or their brother or sister or something in church. So I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying I romanticized it that way. But so that's the unique feature with this particular Common Prayer Bible book. And the other thing is, once again, it's a miniature book. And also the ones that will sell the best and sell as a single item are the ones that are in the better or best condition. So if this book was in shabby condition, no one would buy it as a single item. But I would probably put it in one of my junk lots, or if I had, 3 or 4 of these, sell them together as a lot. But I was able to sell this one as a singular item for $39.99, and it was $3.95 for shipping and handling. And I did mail this out media mail, and it actually was going to be delivered sooner than doing it through the other economy shipping, and I believe it was $2 and some change. These we have, I want to say we must have like 12 of these models. Not the same exact model, but we got these from a project that we were contracted out for, and there were, I want to say maybe 15 of these models, and the ones that we have are in new, old, vintage stock condition. So what that means to us anyway is that the item is still in its original packaging, everything is still sealed up, and it's never been used or put together. So when the person gets it, if they purchase this in, and I'm assuming that this was new maybe in 1960, 1970, then it would be in the same condition as that, minus the fact that there could be a little bit of wear on the box. That probably would be expected. And we do sell a lot of new old vintage stock items, and everything from, once again, this is a model toy Mustang World War II aircraft, aka airplane, to, for example, I have a set of drapes or curtains that are listed that are shabby. They're not really shabby chic. They're definitely that 1960s mod look, and they're bright in color. They're kind of tacky. Those were brand new in the package as well. So, always be on the lookout for those items, and especially if they're vintage, then it adds value. So this sold for $21.99 plus $12.95 shipping and handling. I was able to send this out priority mail for $7 and some change. Next, we have The reason that I took the picture like this, just showing the handles, is because the handles are highly, highly decorated. These are by Steiff Company. They're sterling silver. The handles are sterling silver. The blades are not. And the design is actually a repose rose. And I sold them for $59.99. I did, ironically, I had to relist these a couple of times. I believe I started the original listing at like $49.99 and there were no takers. So I just did some more research on them, and I decided, because I previously did not have the word rose in there, I decided to up my price by $10 because I added the word rose. And ironically, there were 2 bids on them and they sold for $59.99. And I believe that the 2 bids are from the same person. And the shipping was $14.95, but I did send them out priority mail in a small flat rate box. So I believe the shipping was like $7, and I'm just rounding up wherever I can versus giving you an exact number on the shipping. So that was a really cool sale. These are fully hallmarked, and it's from one of the estate projects that we worked on. I have so many coins, so many. I am grateful to have as many as I have. The only thing I do wish is that I could list them quicker, but the issue is with coins, you sort of have to take your time. You have to know what you're talking about, at least to a point. As I noted, we are not coin experts. And all I can tell people is, where I got the coins. I inherited a bunch of coins, plus some are coins that I collected when I was young. Because as I don't know if you guys have heard this on previous videos, but even as a child, when my mother would go to tag sales, and which wasn't often, I mean, the few times she usually went to the gigantic tag sales, and that's when I would, break out my money and I would buy, if I saw coins or jewelry. Those are really the things that I enjoyed the most, and books. So this may be part of something that I bought as a child. I don't know. Or back in the day, adults knew that I loved coins. So they would actually give me $50. So I have a lot of $50. I have a lot of silver dimes. And then, once again, from projects and things that we worked on, I have, like I said, lots and lots and lots of this stuff in our safe. So every once in a while, I will feel like I'm in the mood to list a few. So this is why there's this one random coin here. This is from 1964. It's a 50-cent piece, as we used to call them back in the day, or a $50. And these are 90% silver. So if you come across them, it's not just a 50-cent piece. And one of the ways that you can quickly tell if you have a silver coin or not is if you, I can't change this, but if you turn it on its side and look at the edge of it, if the edge is silver all the way around for 50-cent pieces, you have the $1 coins as well, and you have dimes, certain dimes like Mercury dimes, Eisenhower dimes, etc. If you see that it's silver all the way around, then that most likely is a silver coin. The other clue is if you don't see the brown or the copper on the edge when you turn these on the side, then that's another clue that you may have a silver coin. But coins, you need to do your research because, toning adds to the value. There's certain things that coin collectors look for. If there was a double stamp, or if this, let's say the letter I had a double stamp shadow behind it, or you can see the rim of this coin, if this was off center, that adds value. So there's certain things that they look for. So do your research, and instead of having your coin being worth 50 cents, it could be worth $10.99 plus $2.95 for shipping and handling. And for the shipping and handling, it was $2.66 that I had to pay because I sent this out first class. I was very fortunate to come into some amazing art glass. You guys have seen the vase that we sold for over $600. That was part of the same haul, and we have I'm trying to think, like maybe 3 or 4 more pieces to sell. One of them is listed, and it's also a Roger Gatelman studio art glass piece. He's still alive. He's based in the United States. He is not super old, so he's not going anywhere soon as far as going to the great beyond. So it will be a while before these are worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Right now, and for the last several years, his organization has concentrated on making these amazing perfume bottles. I so hope I can find some of those out in the field. I will be keeping one for myself. You can find them listed for sale online, as well as obviously his studio is still up and running in full throttle and active. His pieces have been shown in dozens upon dozens of museums, some of the world's best. And of course, that information is listed in our listing to help with the sale. But the vase pieces, they go for, about $65. I would even say starting at like the $40 range up into the $200 to $300 range, and whatever everything else in between depends upon what it is. This one, as you can see, sold for $62.99. And the shipping on it actually was like $8 and some change because of where it went in the United States. So they're beautiful pieces. The glass is thick. Ironically, this piece was not signed. His earlier stuff, I think, was not signed. And then there's another version of this that we have listed, but it's in a different shape. Same exact pattern, though. And that one is signed, and for whatever reason, it hasn't sold yet, but I'm pretty sure over the holiday season it will. So be on the lookout. Like I tell people, porcelains, glass, pottery, it still sells. You just have to know what you're looking for. This is a 1976 Paramount Pictures Happy Days The Fonz thermos. It has the glass liner in it, which is perfect. Obviously the cup is still there. It's just like it was brand new. And it's hallmarked around the bottom, which you can't see in this picture on the back, noting that it's 1976 Paramount, so you know that it is not a replica. And yes, thermos pieces as well as certain lunch boxes still sell for decent money. This one sold for $20.50 plus $8.45 for the shipping and handling. I was able to send this out. I think I sent this first class because it didn't even weigh a pound. And so that means it went for I think it was like $3 or $4 to ship it. Yes. Oh, yes. And I don't mean Harry Met Sally, yes. But I'm saying, yes, I still have hundreds of Elks Club pins left to be sold. And I sell them all the time. The only reason I'm showing you this one is to show you that they're still around. And I'm still selling them for about $10 each. And $2.95 for shipping and handling. I send them out first class, so that means they go for $2.66. And I add a special holder for them so that, the person who gets them, it's not just a pin floating around in a big envelope. But these are still out there. Certain pins sell for more. Most of them I'm selling sell for about $10. This is really for people who go out on eBay and they look for items to buy and resell themselves, especially if you're buying lots or things in bulk. This area is a good area. I mean, I know, yeah, I'm opening up the floodgates for competition. That's totally fine because competition is healthy. But I noticed that a lot of people do not want to take the time, and it literally takes like 2 or 3 minutes to list one of these. All you do is you take an existing listing that you own, you make a copy of that listing, and then you simply change the pictures and change a few words. You put it out there for sale, you're done. But a lot of people don't, maybe they don't know that it's that easy, but they don't do it. So what they will do with, and I noticed Elks Club pins in particular, just because I have a market on them, if you will. And what I noticed is they will list like 20 of them together in one lot. And the thing is, I don't think I've ever sold these in a lot, ever. I usually sell them just one pin at a time. Once in a very great while, I will list 2 pins together, and people buy them for like $10 each, plus, as you can see, $2.95 shipping and handling, so you don't have to do free shipping. So it's one of those like hidden areas where you may be able to, go out there, buy something on eBay, turn around and resell for a profit. Last but not least, and I only put this at the end simply because it is Q4, which is the fourth quarter of the year. People soon, and I think it's going, usually, after people are settled in for the fall, right now they're doing home improvements and they're getting ready for winter. They will soon be in the ads for Christmas, I notice on TV, haven't been as heavy as I expected at this point, because they seem to have been going crazy at the end of September last season, but maybe the advertisers learned a lesson. But what you want to do is start, if you haven't started already, get your Q4 stuff listed, so that when, and some people are like, but why list it now if, people aren't going to buy it and I'm going to have to relist it? The reason why is because hopefully you're listing throughout the entire season. Hopefully you are overloading your store with stuff that people might want to buy for the holidays. And to relist literally takes seconds, because you can bulk relist your items. So you don't have to click on each item individually to relist it. And even if you did, at least you're ahead of the curve. But I mean, I have people who are buying things from me, and have been for the last maybe 3-4 weeks, for gifts for the holidays, not just Christmas, but there's Diwali, there's Kwanzaa, there's Hanukkah, there's, just because I want to buy someone a gift, the birthdays are coming. There are people who have birthdays around the holidays that people want to make sure that that gift is completely separate from their Christmas gifts. I actually had like 4 situations like that. And so, it is definitely if you look at what the department stores are doing in the stores, they're starting to prepare a little bit. So you should be starting to prepare to get ahead of them, because they are part of your competition stream. So I hope that this information was helpful. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and please remember to join us on the Velvet Lounge and subscribe to our channel. If you can give this video a thumbs up, leave a quick comment, I would really appreciate it. Also, if you have any information as far as, what you would like to see in the future, please let me know. We are going to try to do more videos like this, but obviously with Q4 here, we are getting busy. We have several projects lined up, and I'm hoping that at some point I can find a way to take you with me on some of these projects. But we do have confidentiality agreements with some customers. Some do not care at all. And I find that the more intricate projects are the ones where we do have confidentiality agreements. So I'm going to try to find a way to take you on some of those adventures with us, especially through Q4. The new eBay room is like basically all set. I'm constantly tweaking it. The other room that we were going to be using for making some videos for YouTube, which I think is really funny, it has a bunch of bins in it, so we have, we're still working on that, and some of the remodeling that I was doing this summer, or actually fall, sorry, I should say this fall, is, thank God, coming to a conclusion. It's one of those things where you get going, and you're like, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do this, and I just am going to come to an ending and be done for a while. But like I said, I go through this every like 7 or 8 years, and that's just the way it is. But thank you guys once again for tuning in. Take care, be safe out there. Remember, it's colder, so that you can stay out there longer. Bring your coffee, but also bring an extra sweatshirt, and make sure your footwear is appropriate. So happy picking and happy digging.